Hello again. It's me. Oh, hang on. Sorry about that. I'm back. I'm going to do the giveaway real quick because I got my son here again to pull the names, and he's got to get ready for work so he doesn't get fired, you know. He went on this big spiel about how he's going to get fired because he has to draw a name for me. But anyway, it was fun. The way I did it, I like doing. I think that's how I'm going to do my giveaways from now on. Make y'all do. Someone even wrote a poem. That was wonderful. Okay, so here's the hat. I didn't count how many people entered, but there was a lot. So, alright, you got to come over here, Raymond, so they can see you reach in and grab. There's my son's hand. Alright, put that over there. Let's see who won. Ta-da! Oh, E.F. Bayer won. And, oh, do I have it here? Yes, I do. It's right here. Won the little... I'm not sorry for the glare. I want to show more of the glare. Thank you, Raymond, so very much. Now you can go get ready for work so you won't be late and you won't get fired. Drama. So that's what you get. Right there. I'm going to stick your name on it. So, send me a private message on Facebook to give me your address, and I'll pop that in the mail for you. Congratulations. Yay. Alright. What next? I kind of rushed getting this together because iced tea. Ugh. Drink of the gods. Because I knew he had to get ready for work. And I was trying to hurry up and get the names done. And so that I'm... So give me... And I got my phone here. Okay, now if it rings, usually I don't answer it. But this time I will have to because I'll tell you all about that in a minute. Well, I'll tell you all about it now since we're on the subject. Last year in August, when I went down to Texas when my dad was ill, while I was in Texas, my family broke my dishwasher. Come back, dishwasher was broken. So we ended up fixing it. We had someone come out. It was just a heating element or something. I don't know. And they fixed it. And it was working. Well, this past weekend, it quit working again. Saturday. I told my husband, I said, David, the dishwasher's not working anymore. I said, to call the repairman out. And he didn't say anything. So Sunday morning, we got up. Oh, okay, this story is going to go all different directions. Sunday morning, me, my two daughters, my son-in-law, and my oldest daughter's one of her best friends, we all went to see The Jungle Book. Oh, it was a good movie. It did a good job of interweaving the book in the animated movie that Disney did years ago. Very, very good book. Very good movie. They did a wonderful job. The little boy who acted in it did an amazing job. I would say if you have real little ones, you might want to see the movie first because there are a couple of scenes where animals are fighting and stuff that could be a little bit scary for the wee little ones. Very good movie. I would highly recommend going and seeing it. Anyway, so Sunday morning we got up and we went to go see the 10 o'clock show. We come back, and when we got back, my husband was dressed. I mean, not that he runs around the house naked, but usually on the weekends he'll wear his pajama pants or a pair of shorts and, you know, a t-shirt or something. But I come home, he was fully dressed in a shirt, jeans, and had his shoes on. I said, "You going somewhere?" He says, "Yeah, come on, let's go." I said, "Okay." All right, my husband wants to go somewhere. I'm not going to complain. I'm going to get in the car and go. Well, we ended up at Lowe's, and lo and behold, he said he's not going to fix that dishwasher. It's the second time it broke, and so we bought a new one. And today's the day they're going to deliver it. And I know, because where we live, hang on, this chair's a little uncomfortable. The road that we live on is only like 4 years old, so it's not on GPSs yet. So every time I have something delivered, They always call saying, we can't find you on the GPS. So I have to tell them, how to get here. So, and they're supposed to deliver it anywhere between 1 and 3, and it's 1:09 now, so they could call you any minute. So, during this video, you might actually have to answer, and I won't pause. I'm sorry. You can hear me talk to the delivery guy. So, I'm getting a new dishwasher today. Yay. Alright, now let's go into my, okay, I have a finish, and it's this. Oh, and someone had asked on one of my videos, I forget which video it was, what fabric this is. I got it off 123 Stitch, and this one is an 18 count. I've done the other ones on 14 count. I did this one on 18 count to make it a little bit smaller so it can fit in the frame better. But it just says white opalescent, Ada. So, on 123 Stitch, that's where I got it from. And I think they had it in 16 count too, but I'm not 100% sure. So here's my finish. And if y'all recall my last video, I was working on this. So I started this last week. Tuesday, I think. I actually finished this last night. I know. Usually it only takes me like 3 or 4 days to do this. But I don't know. Well, I do know. I know why it was so hard for me to stitch on this. For 2 reasons. One reason is, like I said on cross stitch finish line, I think my bookworm ate my stitchy bug. Because I've been doing it the last couple of weeks, I've been doing a lot of reading. And I'll get into that later. But another thing, and I don't think it was just that, because I picked this up every day and tried to work on it. But what happened is because this is an 18 count and my eyes aren't as good as they used to. I used to be able to stitch on 18 count without no problem. I could see really well. But I had to use my magnifier on my alt light to do this. And because this has like the sparkles in it, I don't know if you can see the sparkles. Okay, that's actually like, you know the tinsel you put on Christmas trees and long icicle things? It almost looks like little pieces of that woven into the fabric. So that when I was trying to stitch on it and I had my magnifying glass and the alt light on, it would reflect. And it was like, whoa. And it was hard, because of the reflection, it was hard to work on. So that I would put a few stitches on it, and then I would set it down, and then wouldn't go back to it. So I think on the rest of these, I'm going to try a different fabric. I mean, they don't all have to be on the same fabric. They're not all going to be up at the same time. But that's it. I finally finished it last night. And the reason why I think that was the reason why, not so much the fact that I was reading, but because of the reflection from the glitter stuff, is because I finished that yesterday. And after I finished it, I picked up and started my blue lady. I have enough. Okay, I'm just checking. I heard a truck. I thought maybe they found my place without having to call. But Loki's not going ballistic, so it's not anyone in my driveway. If someone pulls in my driveway, believe me, you'll know it. Loki will go ballistic. But anyway, I picked this up last night and was working on it. And I got a little bit of the dark blue here, and I started on this butterfly. And it's like, I had to force myself to put it down to go to bed. So it's not that I lost my stitchy bug, because I was like really into this and can't wait to get back into it after this video. I think it's just the fabric on this, just with the alt light and everything, just it made it hard. I don't know. So this is what I'll be working on now. I'll probably work on it for about a week and get her done. I want to get this butterfly done, and then I want to go this way, get the page that goes this way, and work on that. That's my plans. So, Let's see, what else? That's it. That's all I worked on as far as cross stitching. I don't have any haul. I got some orders out. I ordered something from oh, where did I order? Oh, Stony Creek, so I can get their free one. I missed last month's free one because I thought they were still on the flowers because they weren't. Last I looked, I think they were doing flowers or something. So I missed. So I'm going to have to purchase the first month's, but that's okay. I'll get the rest of them free. And I ordered some fabric. And that's it. Oh, and I won't go get them. But if y'all remember in one of my very first videos, I showed y'all what I put my floss in. It was double-sided. It's actually a tackle box that I bought, oh good lord, probably about 25 years ago. And I loved it because it fit the whole set of DMC with plenty of extra room. And I loved it. I showed it off whenever I could. And I know I showed it in one of my first videos. It broke. I almost cried. But the hinges, you have the one side that clamps, and the other side, the hinges, on one side broke. So the lid, and I picked it up. I didn't know it was broke. I don't know how it broke. But I went to pick it up, and when I did, it kind of flapped open, and half my floss on that side fell on the floor, and I just, for about 5 minutes, sit there and stared at it, trying not to cry. So, I asked my husband if it could be fixed. He says, Joe, just buy something else. So I did. I bought actually 2 of the ones everyone's been buying. Craft Creations, I think. I don't know. That's 2-sided. I bought 2 of them. And I got one full, and I got like 3/4 of one side of the other one filled up. Because I'm putting them in there kind of loose, because I'm standing them up so you can see the number. And so that they have to be kind of loose so they're not standing straight up. They're slanted a little bit so the lid closes easy. If that makes any sense. I would go get them, but I don't want to walk into the other room because I'm moving. Okay. See, y'all can see my shelf here. Normally in my videos, you'll see craft stuff in there. Well, this shelf has gotten too small for all my stuff. And it's like some of my cross-stitch stuff is just kind of like onto the floor here, kind of like oozing out. So I decided that bookshelf isn't going to work anymore. I have to find another system. So I have a hutch in my other room. I call it the whatever room because it's supposed to be, I guess, it's supposed to be like a formal living room, but we never have formal functions here, so right now I'm going to turn it into an office and craft room. So I had a hutch in there. It had a bunch of stuff on it that I cleaned off and found new homes for, and I'm in the process of organizing because it's a big hutch. It's probably about as tall as this one. Maybe not quite as wide, but it's as tall as this one. It has a lot more room than this bookcase. So I'm putting all my craft stuff over there slowly but surely. And once I get it all set up and everything, I'll do a video and show you what it looks like. Okay. Where was I going with this? I have no idea. Alright. Couple of things. In my last video, Sharon Lelis, I don't know. You talked about how that Monday that me and Molly went to the Thistle needlework store, that you and your daughter went and y'all left about 1 o'clock. Y'all left about 20 minutes to half an hour before me and Molly got there. We had just missed each other. That stinks. In Annette Akers, I do have that book written in red. I just haven't read it yet. In fact, I've had it for a while. It's just I haven't got it. I got a lot of books on my Nook that are like a first in a series that I haven't gotten to reading yet. But I will get to it. When I do, I'll let you know. And Emily wanted to hear the rest of the story about my daughter and her bedroom. So I'm going to tell it because it's funny. It wasn't funny at the time. It pissed me off at the time, but now I can look back at it and laugh. So anyway, the story was I sent my daughter up to clean her room. And she came back down about an hour later and said it was clean. And then when I went up there to check it, nothing had gotten done. And when asked about it, she turned around and just says, well, I don't like spinach. I'm like, well, I had told her, and I remember she was 5 at the time. Because now I remember she was 5 years old. No, actually she wasn't. She wasn't quite 5 yet. She was like a couple of months away from her 5th birthday. Because it was, me and my husband hadn't been together for yet quite a year. So anyway, I told her, I said, look, Tina, which is her name, I said, you got to get this room clean. And it was like, I can remember it was like, it was in the beginning of the week. Because that next weekend, she was due to go to her mother's for the weekend. Because we had custody of her, she lived with us, and she went to her mother's every other weekend. And that coming weekend was her mother's weekend. She was supposed to go to her mother's. And I told her, I said, look, you need to get this room clean before your mommy comes and picks you up. If you don't, there's going to be consequences to that. I didn't tell her what the consequences was, but there were going to be consequences. So I told her, you have to get the room clean before you go to your mom's. Her mom come and picked her up that Friday. And, I think that's just a male lady. Came and picked her up that Friday, and after she left, I went to her room, and of course it wasn't clean. So I said, well, and of course you have to understand, I was young at the time. I was an instant mom, so that, and I didn't, me and my stepdaughter were still getting to know each other and so, and, I didn't know what worked with her yet and what didn't work because I wasn't there the first 4 years. So, I stopped and thought, well, what would my mother do? I said, well, I know what my mom would do. She would, if I didn't clean my room up, she would get rid of everything. Well, not get rid of it, but she would take everything away from me. So, I got some boxes and I spent the whole weekend packing up all her toys in boxes and putting them, we had a spare room at the time, a guest room, hiding them in the guest room. So that when I was done with her room, the only thing she had in her room was her bed, her dresser, an empty toy chest, all her clothes, and I left a bucket of Legos. Because my thought was, this was my thought process at the time. I was going to leave her bucket of Legos, and I was going to tell her, if you can go 3 days, if you could play with your Legos and then put them up when you're done and keep the Legos picked up, then after X amount of days, you'll get a choice of a new toy, and you get a new toy. Then if you can pick those 2 toys up and keep those 2 toys up, then you can get another one. Get my drift? So she can earn back her toys by keeping them picked up. That was my thought process. And and I was waiting, not that I was excited, but I was just waiting to see her reaction when she went in her room and saw all her toys were gone. So her mother dropped her off on Sunday. And so I said, okay, Tina, let's go put your bag up in your room. And I followed her to her room, and she walked in her room, and she just kind of looked around. And I said, well, what do you have to say? And she turned around and she looked at me, and she said, wow, that must have taken you a long time. I was like, that's all, I was expecting, oh, my toys are gone, and tears and everything. No, just, wow, that must have taken you a long time. Didn't work. It didn't faze her in the least bit. Oh, Lord. My husband's laughing his ass off. Because he kept telling me this isn't going to work. I'm like, well, why not? She's going to be devastated that her toys are gone. He says, okay, whatever. Do whatever, Because he was really good. A lot of people, when people get married and their stepkids involved, a lot of times my husband could have been the type of person that was very protective of his daughter and didn't want me to discipline her and didn't want me to be hard on her or whatever, or they overprotect, and my husband wasn't like that. My husband was like, no, you're going to be raising her. You got to be a mom. And I was like, you're right. I had to treat her just like I would treat any kids that me and him had together, and I did. So, but it was, wow, that must have taken you a long time. So that's the rest of that story. I don't know. She's a sweet kid, though. Our kid. She's 31 now, so she's not a kid no more. So. Alright, ooh, I got some exciting news. I know a couple of videos ago, I was talking about that pattern, that mirror, the lady of the, I think it's called the lady of the flag, the one that's like anywhere from $80 to $100 on eBay. It's outrageous and whatnot. Well, I want to thank I've had several people sending me messages saying, hey, I got it. When I'm done stitching with it, I'll send it to you, or I'll send it to you, and when you're done stitching with it, send it back to me. I mean, the number of people, because there were quite a few people who reached out to me and said, hey, you know, I got this, and when I'm done, I'll send it to you. And I just thought, you know, well, I was like, I was speechless. I'm like, you know, I guess because knowing how much people, I know it's a rare, what do you call it, pattern and everything, and just that people were, it was just, I don't know, it gave me a warm fuzzy feeling, and I appreciate everyone's offer, I really do. But I'm going to get my own copy. Yes, I am. My very own copy. Just for me. I'm excited. So, everyone out there who's offered, thank you for the offer. But I am getting my own copy. And I am getting it from Tracy. Because she's ended up with 2. And I'll let her tell you that story. Because it may or may not involve unicorns. I'll just leave it at that. So, Tracy can tell you the story how she got 2. But she's very generous and she's given me 1. Thank you, Tracy, so much. I just love that pattern. It just, and I'm so glad that I'm getting it so I can stitch it. I'm just, again, thank you, Tracy, so very much. I really do appreciate it. So, I don't have it yet. She's in the process of sending it to me, so I'm excited. I can't wait for it to get here. So as soon as it gets here, I'll show you. And that's that on that. Alright, let me do my shout outs real quick, because that's the last of my cross stitch, and then I'm going to go into some books. So, I just got a notification that Crafty Stitcher has just uploaded a video. Cross stitch number 12. Oh, speaking of which, I am totally enjoying watching all y'all's videos on y'all's Stitch Mania plans. Now, my involvement in Stitch Mania is just going to be cheering you guys on. Rah, rah, rah. I can't do that many starts. If I do, then my next video, or one of my videos after I start that many starts, I'll be sitting here going because I'll just be... So no, I'm not starting that many starts. But I am loving watching y'all's videos and what y'all are doing. I got a wish list that I'm making from what y'all are showing. So, alright, hang on. Excuse me. Damn. Alright, my shout outs. I got quite a few here. Oops, I don't know what I'm doing here. That one was from last week. Okay. Now I haven't actually, I got a few here. There's a couple here I haven't actually watched yet, because I am a little bit behind on my floss tube, because it just seems like everyone's making the Mania ones plus their updates, so there's like been like double videos, and I haven't. I've been reading so that some of my time that I would watch FlossTube, I have been reading. So I'm going to get caught up. I'm almost caught up. But some of these I haven't watched yet, but I do have them on my watch later list. The first one is Lisa S. Stitches. And then, oh, I got Cassandra Houston on here, but I think I did her before. Then We X Stitcher Carrie. Then we have, sorry, this is tiny type, and I need to get new glasses. Annette Acre. Sleepy Kitty Stitches. Busy Bee Stitcher. And Brenda Romero. So that's the new ones I found so far. And again, I will be putting their link below. Just give me enough time after I upload my video to do it. Sometimes it takes me a while. Okay. Up next. Okay, oh, did I do that? I know that a couple of people, I talked about, whoops, my bean salad recipe, and I had a couple of people ask me for the recipe. And I'm thinking I might have linked it in one of my videos. I'm checking. If I didn't, I will link it in this video. I know it. Oh, hang on. I think I know what I did. Hang on. Be patient with me, people. Be patient. I know. Y'all just love sitting here watching me go on my iPhone. Sitting here looking for something. Okay. Okay, I did. Okay, in this video, which is video number... Okay, in video number 34, if you go down in the comments, I actually linked it in someone's comment because they had asked for it. And I had a couple of people ask it. So if you're interested in the bean salad recipe, it's in my number. It's in my number 34 video, and it's from Sarah Lee. It's one of her recipes. If y'all, I don't know if y'all knew, not Sarah Lee as in like Sarah Lee cakes. Sandra Lee, it's not Sarah Lee. It's Sandra Lee. She used to have a thing on the cooking. I don't know. It's good. I don't serve it in the recipe. She serves it in like a lettuce cup. I don't do that. I just plop it on my plate and eat it. And I think I'm having either I'm having deja vu or I said this in my last video. I don't know. If I said it in my last video, then oh well, you're hearing it again. It calls for just green bell peppers, but I like using colorful ones, so I use it. I think I said this in my last video. Either that or I have a strong sense of deja vu. I don't know. Okay, moving right along. Let's talk. Okay, I'm just looking at the time. Let's talk about what I've been reading. Now, I don't know what I was reading last time I talked about books. Well, I do know what I was reading. I just don't. Okay, never mind. I had this series that I read years ago. Let me find it here. And the author had come out with 3 books in the series. And after the third book, it was like, the third book came out, had to be at least 4 or 5 years ago. And I kept waiting to see if there was going to be a 4th book, and finally I gave up thinking that she wasn't going to do a 4th book, because sometimes that happens, you know, that they do a couple of books and the series just stops, or the author quits writing, or I don't know. I've had that on a couple of series. I hate it when that happens because I get into it and then. But anyway, again, I just get to sit here and watch me while I scroll through my Nook looking for what I'm looking for. Okay, here it is. And the first book in the series is, I think I might have showed y'all, is Grave Witch. Whoops. Is Grave Witch. Can y'all see that? Looks kind of weird, like it's the Alice Craft series. And anyway, the first one came back out, oh maybe it was in 2010. And then yeah, y'all can just sit here and watch me while I fiddle around. Oh, excuse me. Damn. Alright, and the third one came out in 2012. And that was the last one. I kept waiting for it and waiting for it. So she actually had a fourth one now that came out this year. 12. So 4 years between her last one and her recent one. Well, since it, and I remember, I ended up, before I read that fourth one, I decided to read the other three again. Because although I can remember the gist of the story, I wanted to freshen up on the storyline and the characters and whatnot. Which I'm glad I did, because I love this series. It's a great series. So I read all 4 books in the last 2 weeks, which was great. Now, what I'm currently reading, now I gotta go all the way back up here. What I'm currently reading is a series that the main character she's an assassin, or a retired assassin. In the first book, she retires. But she was a trained assassin. But she's a good assassin because she only kills the bad people. She doesn't kill good people. So, okay. Here it is. And there are several books out in this series. There's actually doesn't say. There's quite a few in the series, and it's a good series. And again, I'm trying to find the first one. Okay, this is the first one, right? Yeah, and it's called the Element Assassin series. And it's this one right here. Spider Bite is the first one, and it's really good. The characters in this book, in this world, there's vampires, but they're not your traditional, what you think a vampire who can't go out during the day or stuff like that. Yes, they need blood, but they can go out during the day and whatnot. You have giants who aren't like super tall, but they're like 7 feet, 8 feet tall and whatnot. You have dwarves, you have trolls, you got characters like that. But there's no witches. They're called. They do what they call elemental magic, which means you can either do magic that you get the 4 elements: fire, water, air, and ice, and you can do one of those or a variation of one of those. And she happens to be an earth. So she can turn her body into stone if she wants to. She can read rocks and stuff like that. But she also has ice magic too. She's pretty cool. But anyway, like I said, I don't want to give too much away of the book because I want you to read it. It's a very good series. Like I said, it goes in where her family was murdered when she was real little, and she managed to escape. And now she's wanting to take care of the person who murdered her family and whatnot, It's good. It's a it's again. Excuse me. Again, um, it's not sex heavy. In fact, I don't even think they're. Uh, like I said, I'm not a prude or anything, but I don't mind one or two sex scenes. But this one, I don't think has any, or if it does, it's very mild. I don't. I'm trying to think. I don't remember if there's maybe in one or two of the books there might be, um, but again, it's a good book. She's it's funny in some places, and it's very entertaining. So anyway, that's what I'm reading now. Which one is it? I'm actually, oops. I'm reading. I'm like 2 books behind in this series. I got the one I'm reading now, which is called Black Widow. I got another one after that, and then I got one on pre-order that'll be coming out later on this year. So I'm trying to get caught up on this one. I'm going to read this book and the next one. So when the pre-order one comes out, then I'll be ready to read it. Oh, sorry. Now, several people have mentioned that they've gone out and they're looking into some of the series that I've recommended, which is great. And if you read the books that I recommend, and I'm the type of person, because my husband reads, not as much as I do, but I actually got him into reading several years ago. And the first book I got him to read was the Dresden File books. Stormfront was the first one. That's the one I recommended in another video, and he loved them. And there's a couple of series. He doesn't read like I said, he doesn't read as much as I do, but he does read. And one thing I like doing is if me and another person read a book, I like to talk about the book, about what happens in the book and stuff like that. So if you read any of the books and you want to have a discussion, by all means, send me a message on Facebook. I don't mind. I like discussing books. Tell me what you thought about it, whether you liked it, and what you thought about the characters, and so forth. I don't mind. I love doing that. That's like I said, way back when Barnes and Noble had, they had what they called the boards, the message boards, and I was big into that. But I was on those boards 3, 4, 5 times a day, and talking to people about the books that we were reading. I love that. I love that. Now I am going to recommend another series. Let me find it here. This series it started and it's finished. There's quite a few books in here, and it's. Let me find it. Like I said, I'm sure y'all just love sitting here watching me. But this one is. It's quite different from all the other series I've read or that I read. And the fact that it was more, I don't want to say hardcore, but again, I need to get my eyes checked. But it wasn't fluff. It's bear with me. It's they're like vampires and werewolves in these books, but they're not your typical vampire and werewolves, and they are by no means the good guys. They are and they don't call them vampires and werewolves. They call them by different names, but basically that's what they are. You have one set of one group that feeds on blood, and another group that's kind of changes into. But trying to find, I think this is it. Okay, I'm trying to find the first book in the series because I think, and I don't think I have it on my Nook, because I think when I started reading the series that it wasn't available on the Nook, so I actually have it in paperback, but all my paperbacks are still boxed up in my basement. So, and I'm looking on here, and I still don't think the first few books are available on. Oh no, okay, here it is. This is the first one. See, yeah, I don't have it on my Nook. And if you have a Nook and you want to buy this, it's only $4.99. So this is the book. It's the first one is called, what's it called? Blood Blade, and it's the Skinner's book one, by, who's it by? Marcus, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. But it's about a group of people, a small group of people, who go out and they find these werewolves and stuff, and they kill them because they're not good people. It's more of a, they're hunters. They hunt these things down, and But there's only certain people who can hunt these things, and this guy who he works with computers or something. He's a computer whiz. Falls into this, he find out he's one of these special guys that can hunt these, and so he starts hunting them, and he learns. It's a good book. It's like I said now. Now I don't want to say it's gory, but there's a lot of fight scenes, and it's very detailed. So, I'm trying to... If you don't like a lot of detail about, their guts falling out, stuff like that, then it's not a book for you. But if you like those type of books, or you don't mind those type of books, it's a very good series. Like I said, the first book came out in 2009, and I think the last book came out, I want to say somewhere around 2013 or so. And there's, I think, about 5 or 6 books in this series. It really is a good series. I really enjoyed it, and it's one of the it's a type of series that I would read a second time, because I like doing that sometimes, going back. It's like going and revisiting an old friend. So that's a good one. And then I'm going to do one more recommendation. And, whoops. I gotta go all the way to the top. Oops. I passed it. Dang it. Here it is. I think this is the first one. Yes. Okay. And this is a fun series. And it's set in Texas, somewhere in Texas. I forget the town in Texas, but that's the reason why I bought this first book, because it was set in Texas, and I'm from Texas. But it's called Would Be Witch, by Kimberly Frost. This is a good book. The main character in this book, she's a witch, but her she's not a very good witch. Her powers aren't what they should be, and sometimes she'll try to do a spell or something and it'll backfire. And I often think, and I it's one of these things that if I was a witch, that would probably be the type of witch I would be, that I would try to do something that would backfire on me. Just saying. But and again, I don't want, Duval, Texas, that's where it's set, right here, in a small town, Duval, Texas. But it's a very good series too. I don't know how many are in the series. I'm actually waiting for another one to come out. So those are my book recommendations. Whether y'all like it or not. Let's see. Is there anything else? Oh, okay. For all those stitchers who live in Connecticut, I know that I've said something in my videos before, and I even posted something on a Cross Stitch Finish Line about it. Me and Molly would like to get together with anybody, I'm looking for my calendar, who, any of the stitchers here in Connecticut who want to come. Again. Okay. We are thinking, I'm actually going to talk to Molly because I might have to change this. Originally, we were thinking getting together on May 14th. Anyone who wants to get together at May 14th, and Molly has graciously offered up her home so that we can meet at her house. We were thinking of doing like a potluck. Everyone bring a dish, and then we can eat, and then we can stitch. But I might have to change that because my phone just buzzed, just vibrated. Oh, let's switch my ringers off again. I don't know why my ringer keeps turning off. But I want to talk to Molly because I think the 21st might be a better day for me because I think I got something already going on the 14th. So let's just say either the 14th or the 21st. Anyone interested in get together? If you're interested, send me a private message on Facebook because what I want to try to do is we really want this. We would like anyone who, like I said, anyone who wants to come. We just want to get together with a bunch of stitchers. If you're interested and you want to come, send me a private message so that we can start getting. I want to get like I don't know what I want to do, but I need. I know what I want to do. I just can't spit it out. But we need to kind of like get a little organized to see who wants to come, who can come, so we can give out directions and decide what we're going to do and whatnot. So, yeah, if you live within, I don't want someone to drive 4 or 5 hours to get here, but if you live close enough to where you want to, come and spend the day with us, we would love it. I really, really, really want to get a group of people together that we can meet, if not once a month, once every 6 weeks, and stitch. I really want to do that. And if you know anyone who lives in Connecticut who stitches, who may not watch the videos or on Facebook, tell them, hey. So yeah, do that. And I meant to do it before I did this video, and I didn't, but I do know I'm going to jot down the people who said they would be interested. I know there's people out there who said they would, and I'm going to try to set up a, I know on Facebook Messenger you can set up like a group of people so y'all can all communicate. That's what I want to try to do. That's why I kept saying, that's what I was trying to say earlier, and it just wouldn't spit out. So, that's that. Let's see, anything else? It's almost 2 o'clock and they haven't called about my dishwasher yet. If I don't get my dishwasher today, I'm going to be pretty upset. Pretty upset. Alright, well, I guess that's it. I don't have anything else to say. I'm not going to go over what I ate this week, my diet, because this week remember when it rained in my kitchen? So there was a big hole in my ceiling. We just now this week had someone come and patch up that hole. So he was here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. patching up a little hole. And every time he came, he had like sand and there was dust everywhere, so that I didn't cook it all this week. We had because I couldn't get in my kitchen to cook because he was working and there was dust everywhere, and it was like, every day after he left, I had to clean up all the dust, and it was like no sense cooking. So there was Tuesday we had gotten pizza. Wednesday my husband worked super late, so he just picked up something on his way home from work, and me and Samantha, we had leftovers. What did I have that day for leftovers? Oh, meatloaf, because I had meatloaf, and so we had meatloaf sandwiches. And then yesterday, we had me and my husband, it was just me and my husband for dinner, because my daughter's school is doing a play, and she was ushering. So we just had leftover pizza. Now tonight, since I'm not having dust everywhere today, I will cook. And I'm cooking, it's a meatball, I forget what it's called. If I can remember, I'll put a link down, because it is a pasta dish, but it uses the orzo, the really small pasta, and it doesn't use a whole lot, so that I can eat it and I won't be eating too much of the pasta. And it has meatballs and peppers and onions and tomatoes. It's really good. Like I said, if I can remember, I'll post a link in the bottom. But usually what I do is I sit down on Saturday or Sunday and I write out a menu from Monday through Sunday. And what I'm going to do, like I said, I didn't do it for this week because everything going on. But if y'all are interested, I will, when I make my video, share my menu for the week. And if there's any recipes in there that y'all think, well, actually, all the recipes I use, or 90% of the recipes I use, are on my Pinterest. So if you want to follow me on my Pinterest, you can find all the recipes I use in my menus on there. That's where I get them. And I got some good ones. I got some I haven't tried yet, but I like to cook. I actually like trying out new recipes. So, and I've kind of gotten away from that, so that I'm going to try to start doing that again. Alrighty then, I think that's it. I could sit here and just BS all day long, but y'all don't want to hear the BS I have. I could talk about just about anything. Still don't like those bear commercials. Oh, I know. Speaking of bears and toilet paper. I get a kick out of the fact that people over in Europe and England and people down under, they're all like, why would you throw toilet paper at people's houses? They don't, it just cracks me up. I'm telling you. And I think all the other floss tubers out there here in America and Canada, I think y'all should help me to encourage our friends from other countries to try wrapping a house with toilet paper. I call it wrapping, not TPing. It is fun. You do it in the middle of the night, like somewhere between midnight and 3 a.m. Just go to the store and buy some cheap toilet paper, and just you unravel it a little bit, and you throw it so that as it's going through the air, it unravels more. Like I said, doing it on trees and bushes is the best. Make sure you don't get caught, and then just leave. It is so much fun. Not that I do it now. I used to do it when I was a kid in high school. Because, not that I did it maybe 2 or 3 times. Start the trend in your country. Can you imagine? And usually you pick someone who, has ticked you off or you're mad at or something like that. Or has done something to you and you want to get revenge. Imagine the look on their face when they come out of their house and there's toilet paper all in their trees and their yards. Especially because y'all don't do that, so they're going to like, what the hell? Seriously, come on, floss tubers, help me encourage our friends in other countries to do this. It's fun. I think everyone should do it at least once. Okay, that being said, I'm going to go now. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.